our agenda, we have the minutes of the January 14, 2025 Town Council meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Got a second?
Second.
Any discussion or questions on that? Okay, this time I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Jim. That motion is approved. Next up is our January 2025 financial report. Could I have a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Have a second? Second. Any discussion? Okay, call for the vote. All those in favor of the January 2025 financial report, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion is approved. Okay. Next up, we have our comments from Mr. Andrew Frick regarding the 2025 Sandblast Rally.
Andrew Frick could not be here tonight. He had a scheduling conflict, but he did provide notes, and he just wanted me to share with council. He did thank council again for the support for the Sandblast Rally. He wanted us to know that last year, Sandblast Rally had 63 entries take place, and it was a great weekend. Of those 63 entries, each one brings 3 people with it, and also 150 volunteers that are here Wednesday through Sunday. They always have a great time, and even with challenging weather last year, they've enjoyed the racing, and they look forward to coming again this year. They're scheduled to return the first Saturday in March of this year, so competitors and volunteers will start arriving in Sherall on February 26th, and will be staying through Sunday, March 2nd. Sandblast Rally intends to be the same format as it was last year, with night racing on Friday, followed by a full day of racing on Saturday. And if you have any questions, please reach out to them directly.
Okay. Thank you, Robert. Our next up on our agenda is the swearing in of new officers with the Sherall Police Department. Chief.
Chief Ryder.
Forward. Chief.
Officers, come forward, please. Officers, raise your right hands, please. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I state.
A officer of the town of Sherall.
An officer of the town of Sherall.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That during my continuance. In said office. I will, to the best of my skill. And ability. Faithfully discharge. All the duties required of me. And execute all lawful orders. Of my superior officers. I will preserve. Protect. And defend the Constitution. Of the state of South Carolina. And the United States. And all ordinances of the town of Sherall. And report all violations. Of the same that may. Come to my knowledge. I will not persecute the innocent. Nor help to shield. The guilty from punishment. Nor will I be influenced. In the discharge of my duty. By fear. Favor of affection. Reward or hope thereof. I will be governed by the rules. And ordinances applicable. To the Sherall Police Department. So help me God. All right. If you would.
Thank you, guys. Look forward to your service to this community. Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next up on right here, we have the public hearing on the proposed franchise fee increase on Dominion Energy from 3% to 5% from. Motion. Okay. We'll need a motion to go in and have a motion to go in to public hearing on the proposed franchise fee of for Dominion Energy from increase to 3 to 5%. Have a second? Second. Any discussion? Okay. Call for vote this time. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, this time we want to go here.
Just as an introduction for both the public and for council, cities are not allowed to charge business license fees to utility companies. Instead, we was charge a franchise fee, which is essentially a rental fee to these utilities for the use of public right-of-ways within the town. These fees can be anywhere from 1% to 5%, or you cannot do them at all. Several years ago, the town of Terrell changed all of their franchise fees to 5% for the utility companies operating inside the city limits. That includes Duke Energy, all the cable companies, and then the town charges its own utility company, or our own utility system, a 5% franchise fee as well. During the budget last year, we found that Dominion Energy's franchise fee was still 3%, and so this increase would change it from 3% to 5% on residential and commercial users, and that would generate an additional estimated $40,000 annually for the town of Terrell, and put it in line with our other franchise fees within the town limits.
So all franchise fees would now be 5%.
They would all be equal now.
Do we have anyone want to speak on that behalf or talk on that? There again, just reiterate what Jerry said. This would put in line with all the others as well.
Yes.
To be the same.
Yes, sir. All the franchises would now be equal across the town.
Any other discussion from the public on that? Okay, so I'll take the motion. Or do yeah, let's take the motion at this time to exit the public hearing. Can I get a motion? Have a second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor of exit public hearing for the franchise fee increase from Dominion Energy from 3% to 5%, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Thank you, Jim. All right. We will exit out of the public hearing on that matter. Next up on the agenda, we have citizen comments. Do we have anyone here with any comments tonight from our local citizens? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on to the agenda for council action number 9. We have the second reading of ordinance. Ordinance 202507, an ordinance to redraw districts relating to the town council seats in the town of Sherrard. Rob?
So just to reiterate to council and to the public, during the last census, the population of the town of Terrell changed quite a bit, and we want to make sure that our council districts do not violate the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause, which states that one person equals one vote. So in order to achieve that, our council districts need to have as close to the same population as possible within a margin of 5%. We've worked with the South Carolina Department of Revenue and Fiscal Affairs to develop these new maps, taking into consideration current council seats, population changes, and also neighborhoods, so that nothing is being broken up unfairly. We did have a public meeting on this back in November. We had a public hearing on December, and we had first reading in January and second reading tonight. These district lines would not go into effect for the current special election that is coming up on March 18th, but they would go into effect for the general election that's in November of 2025.
And Rob, that is because of the election coming up would be for those residents that was under that guideline. That's why that is the case, correct?
Yes, sir. Since it's filling an unexpired term, it would just continue on under the same, but it will change when that whole, when the whole new term is elected in November.
Okay. We'll have a motion to approve ordinance 2025-07. Have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, call for the vote. All those in approval of ordinance 2025-07 say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that ordinance passes. Next up, ordinance 2025-08 is an ordinance to increase the franchise payments from 3% to 5% for residential and commercial entities that collect and submit a franchise fee on behalf of the town of Sherall and additional changes. Rob, I know we just discussed it.
This is the ordinance that enacts the franchise fee increase on Dominion Energy.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 2025-08? Have a second? Any discussion? Okay, call for the vote. All those in favor of approval of ordinance 2025-08 say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That ordinance passes. Next up on agenda number 10 is a resolution. Resolution 14-2025 is a resolution declaring March the 6th, 2025 Lafayette Day in honor of the bicentennial of Marquis Lafayette's visit to the town of Sherall. Rob?
So this year marks the 200th anniversary of the Marquis de Lafayette's visit to Sherall on March 6, 1825. Marquis de Lafayette, he was a Revolutionary War hero, and after the Revolution continued to fight for the independence and liberty for all peoples across the world. In 1824, he was invited back to the United States to tour at the insistence of President James Monroe, and he made a 2-year tour, essentially, of all 24 states at the time, and traveled some 6,000 miles. His first stop in South Carolina was here in Sherall on March 6, 1825, and a grand reception was held in his honor, and this is a momentous occasion that's being celebrated across the eastern seaboard in honor of his 200th anniversary of his tour. The town of Sherall is observing it with the Sherall Arts Commission, the Malloy Foundation, thank you Bill and Susan for being here, and also with the Old Sherall's chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. So it'll be celebrated throughout the month of February, culminating in an event on March 6th. I encourage everybody to go to Lafayette200Sherall.com and check out all the events we have going on, and especially February 25th, I'll be hosting trivia down at the hotel. So come see me, try to win some prizes. But he's certainly a unique individual for his time and worthy of having a day named in his honor. And in addition, part of this resolution is that Mayor and Council would declare that he is an honorary Cheradian in celebration of his work and life.
Thank you, Rob. Have a motion to approve resolution 14-2025.
So
Have a second?
Second.
Any question, discussion? I will say this, we have got a lot of interest about how that was going to be celebrated as well. So from outside, so it's good to see. Okay. At this time, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of approving resolution 14-2025, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That resolution passes. Next up, B is resolution 15-2025. Is a resolution authorizing the town manager to enter into a contract to Evans Pavement Services Incorporated to make road improvements as part of the Egerton Phase 2 neighborhood revitalization project. Rob?
This is part of our community development project we have going on along Egerton Street, Godfrey Street, Jericho, Maynard Street. This is being funded by the South Carolina Department of Commerce. We did take bids on this resurfacing and repaving of roads, and we received 2 bids. The low bid came in from Evans Pavement Services for $350,549.50, which is nice because that is lower than what we were anticipating the cost would be. This is simply a resolution allowing me to enter into a contract to award that amount, and then later on this will be reimbursed by the South Carolina Department of Commerce once the project is complete.
I have a motion to approve resolution 15-2025.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, call for the vote. All those in favor of approval of resolution 15-205, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that resolution passes. Next up on our agenda is appointment of Magic Lowry to the Municipal Election Commission. Rob?
With the unexpected passing of Pink Patrick late last year, he was on our Municipal Election Commission, and he had a term that expired December 31st, 2025. We do need to fill that unexpired term, not only because we have a special election coming up in March, but also because we have the general election in November. Magic Lowry's name came up several times, and certainly he's very excited to take on this role. So.
Have a motion to approve the appointment of Magic Lowry to the Municipal Election Commission.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, call for the vote. All those in favor of appointment of Magic Lowry to the Municipal Election Commission, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that appointment is approved. Next up is approval of a water tap at 1601 State Road. Rob?
So 1601 State Road is currently outside the town limits. It is a residential structure. Any water taps or sewer taps outside the town limits have to be approved by council individually. There is capacity there. There is access to our lines there. And Chesterfield County Rural Water has relinquished the rights to service that house to the town of Terrell. So this comes as a recommendation from Doug Stowe, the Utilities Director, and myself that we accept this water tap.
I have a motion to approve the water tap for 1601 State Road.
So.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, call for the vote. Approve. All those in favor of approval of water tap for 1601 State Road, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That approval of 1601 is approved. Next up is approval of water tap at 22 Hall Circle. Rob?
Same thing, this is outside the town limits. This is within our service territory. We service other residents in that same area, so this is just another water tap.
Get a motion for approval of water tap at 22 Hall Circle.
So moved.
Have a second? Any discussion? Okay, call for the vote. All those in approval of water tap at 22 Hall Circle, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That is approved for 22 Hall Circle. Okay, next up is our activities report. Please, you have those at your discretion or have had those at yours. Please look over with any questions or comments on that and give it Ron or myself. Next up, I have 15 is executive session. I request to enter into executive session to discuss contractual matters relating to the sale of land on Front Street and to discuss personnel compensation at the utility department. Do I have a motion to enter into executive session?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, call for the vote. Those in favor of moving into executive session at this time, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, at this time, it is approved. We'll go into executive session.
Benny, you good? Take care, good to see you.
Make sure you record. I know. Record.
There's yes,
Thanks.
tell them that.
I don't like the term.
Come on now. You know you are.
Yes, you are.
That's right. That's right. See?
That was my response. Yeah, that's what it was. That was absolutely responsible. Very easy. I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. That's one of these few departments I cannot call. Where you go, guys? Men handle the goods, that's really good. I told you. This was market service was, that's the answer for there. I'll do whatever else to get over here. But for there,
Yeah.
Something look at you.
What's that?
I did. I just moved it back here so I could see y'all. Thanks for checking on me. She's great.
Did you get your barbecue?
In the back.
Okay. This time, taking a motion to, come out of executive session.
So move.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor, going out of executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, this time, we're out of executive session. At this time, I'll entertain a motion, to add for the town manager to enter into contract, for the purchase of, make sure I'm listening right, Rob, is this a purchase to get into the sale of the, Wanamaker property and BC Moore property? Great. Have a second? Do I have a motion? Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. At this time, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, for us to enter into, give Rob, the town manager, access to enter into a contract for the sale of the purchase of Wanamaker property and BC Moore property, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that motion is carried. Okay. Next up on our agenda, have what you've been looking for, the adjournment. This time, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Have a second. I don't think there's no discussion. This time, we will adjourn. Thanks.
That's cool.